Hello, welcome to JIBRIN Angle on Oweleke TV. My name is JIBRIN and this is my angle. Today, our matters arising is about the Labour Party. The cloud is obviously gathering or have actually gathered, and the storm is going to be a very, very heavy storm ahead. We have, Labour Party. Someone will say Labour Party has been factionalized for some time. Yeah, it's been actually, but this factionalization right now, as it is today, has never been this clear and very, very strong. A sort of there is a clear cut division right now in the party between the political relevant personalities and the foundational members of the party. The political relevant personalities is the camp of former Governor Peter Obi, who actually made Labour Party what it is today. Yeah, Labour Party has been there for a very long time. I remember former Governor Mimiko of Ondo State actually made Labour Party to be somewhat popular during his reign. But thereafter, Labour Party became went down. I kind of it kind of went under below the radar rather. So it wasn't that popular until Peter Obi actually gave it some kind of breath. I think Labour Party lost its oxygen after Mimiko, and Peter Obi came back and it kind of resuscitated it and gave it even bigger life, bigger breath, much more breath and energy that it has today, it commands today. So without Peter Obi, there will be no Labour Party as it is today. So Peter Obi, the Labour Party of today is Peter Obi, and Peter Obi is the Labour Party, and that is just, they are intertwined. You can't change them. Without Peter Obi, the Labour Party wouldn't be. I believe without even Peter Obi, they wouldn't be fighting. They wouldn't be having this disagreement they have today. Stuff. So, yes, I need us to watch this press conference by the past chairman. I don't know if I can refer to him as the past chairman. Yeah, we shall be dealing with the legal angle of this whole thing at the next episode of my show that comes, a weekly episode of my show. This is just a monologue. Usually weekdays, I think I take to monologue and weekends. I actually handle the episode where I feature guests on the show. So on Saturday, we shall be having Barrister Manta on the show to actually discuss the legal angle of this whole thing. But for now, we shall be talking politics. So that is it. Let's watch this video, and while we watch, I shall be interjecting from time to time so that I don't miss the points I shall be talking about. As the point arises in the speech, I shall address it. I will move to the next stuff. Like that, and until we are done with the conference. So yes, let's go. Sorry, I don't know why this is taking too long.
I must seize this opportunity to make some clarifications on some few issues. I and the party have been accused of being responsible for Peter Obi's failure in the 2023 general election. They have stated that the campaign, election donations, and funds for the payment of agents were mismanaged by the party. Hence, Peter Obi failed in the 2023 general election. I have ordinarily refused to make comment on this because I believe that as a leader, leadership is taking responsibility. And I believe that we're all one, and that I should generally take responsibility for the actions of this party. But recent events have shown that we will be doing this party and will be doing ourselves injustice if we continue to keep quiet on all of these issues. And that's why we have decided to come out clean to make some of this clarification. Let me make it categorically clear that campaign funds were disbursed, administered in the southern states by the leadership of the campaign council, first led by Doyi Okupe, and secondly, under the control of Akin Oshutokun. While the funding of the campaign for the 19 northern states were handled by the vice presidential candidate of the party, Dati Baba Ahmed.
Wow, this is surprising to me. Anyway, not too surprising, but I did not expect that Baba Ahmed to actually manage it. But I can understand the reason why he did that. This is news to me that Dati Baba Ahmed, who is actually one of my favorite politicians, I love that guy so much. He rose to limelight during the Obasanjo regime when he was at the House of Representatives. He was extremely vibrant. In fact, as some of you know, he was the one who actually sponsored the due process bill. The due process we are all talking about today, that is the foundation. Dati Baba Ahmed is actually the foundation of due process. He sponsored that. So, and he's a very very aggressive and radical politician, and a man who actually is geared towards his actions, and actually geared towards good governance. So he is my one of my favorites. So, but I didn't expect him anyway. But that's okay. I understand why, because I understand why he was given the northern financial campaign finances to actually spearhead. One, because he's from the north, and secondly, he is a very prudent man, very very prudent. Hence, the sponsoring of the due process bill when he was at the House of Representatives. So that is understandable. Let's keep going.
The funding of the election itself was done by Peter Obi himself. The party was never involved in the distribution of those resources.
Again, this is shocking to me. It's understandable, but it is surprising to me that the presidential candidate. I don't know if, for those of you who know politics, I am not aware that I'm not aware of situations where we have the presidential candidates actually being the ones literally, that is, directly managing the campaign funds. I usually know to be that there is usually a committee that is normally constituted to actually take care of this. We have the DG of the campaign, the chairman of the campaign, or whatever. So, presidential campaign team. I don't know. I'm surprised that the presidential and the vice presidential candidates were actually the ones actually taking care of the funds, the presidential campaign funds. They're not taken care of by Dati Baba Ahmed, while the entire national presidential campaign was spearheaded by Peter Obi, the presidential candidate himself. Well, I don't know. I think that of course that is a distraction, but I understand that could have been a distraction. But I understand why they did that. The both of them are actually prudent. In fact, um, eh, during the 2023 election, I consider them the best presidential team. That's just the truth. The best presidential candidate and the best vice presidential candidate Nigeria has ever produced. Honestly, because both of them, their record, they have records. Their records actually speaks for them, and they have the pedigree actually to spearhead the economic growth of Nigeria. Both of them has the pedigree of managing wealth well, and both of them are prudent spenders, judicious spenders. Both of them are meticulous and detailed. They don't believe in an ostentation lifestyles. They live very simple lifestyle. So we couldn't have had it better. Than we couldn't. No, I don't think that we had it a situation where we have a perfect team as would be Dati campaign presidential campaign team. So I understand why both of them actually tried to. They did that to actually, and which their campaign actually spent less than what used to be the usual the norm in the system. So okay, let's go again.
Our interest was to see how we can produce a president for the party. However it was done, we didn't bother ourselves about it. Hence, we gave them free hands. Whoever they trusted, whoever they wanted to entrust their resources to, we didn't want to bother ourselves with it. We followed them sheepishly. We followed them loyally.
Now, for those of you who have been following, or those of you who have not been following, what has been going on with the finances at the in Labour Party, sometimes earlier this year, this issue of allegation came up against Bure, chairman Julius Abure, the then chairman Julius Abure, that he actually embezzled, I think, billions of naira worth of presidential campaign funds. He had some of his colleagues then, which includes the treasurer and I think the financial secretary. I can't remember them, but I know more than one person actually rained allegations against him of embezzling the campaign funds, sort of. So then there are so many allegations and counter allegations, and there was none of the allegations was actually verified or confirmed or whatever. So I don't know why he's coming out, because I can't I don't know if he did this in the past, but I didn't take note of him actually coming holding a press conference to that effect, sort of, until now. So that is exactly what he's trying to do. But then everybody, I think most people believed, including myself, because um, yeah, people came out to talk about it, and including treasurer, because when a treasurer, of course, treasurer knows everything that goes on with any organization's finances, sort of. So the treasurer came out actually blazing at him, and so we all believed what was said of him, until now that he's opening up on what really transpired behind the scene. So let's keep listening to him, and we'll talk about it as we go. Thank you.
And allow them to administer the funds of the campaign for the election and so on and so forth. As per the donation, the party was not involved in the collection of any campaign donations. Donations to the campaign were channeled to the following accounts: Obi Dati Ahmed campaign account, Zenith Bank 124-195-0451, Sterling Bank 0091657896, Heritage Bank 1400234900, Globus Bank 1000128194. The signatories to these accounts were Aisha Yusuf and Pastor Itwa Iwudalu.
Really? Aisha Yusuf. Yeah. Wow. This again is surprising to me. I didn't know Aisha Yusuf played that much prominent role at the presidential campaign level. Honestly, I didn't know. I thought she was just an influencer there as a youth. So I'm surprised that she actually played she played a prominent role as this. But my problem is, I think I listened to her when this issue of allegation of corruption came against was leveled against Abure earlier in the year, and I watched her. But I expect, if she actually truly she's signatory, she was signatory or is still signatory to that campaign funds. Um, It's obvious, and she didn't because when I watched her talk about the campaign, whatever campaign funds, it was she insinuated to have believed what happened, the allegation against Abure then. So I think I through her, I think I watched most of the things I heard about the Abure administration actually was from her then. So I believed her, and I believed what she said about the Abure or whatever. I think she believed the allegation against Amber. Then, if she was actually, my point is, if she was signatory to the account, the presidential funds, I expected her to have made mention of that. That look, yes, I was signatory to the account, I was signatory to the funds, but this and this and that happened. But she didn't. I don't think she clarified. She cleared that. I don't think she gave us that information, sort of. But I am curious to actually hear from her about this. I'm curious to know, find out the truth about this whole thing. So let's keep watching.
They were equally responsible for the payment of polling unit agents. The party did not even bother to pay its agents. We handed over the list to the campaign council.
Now, this payment of agents, I thought that was what made Labour Party different. Then we heard that the agents were volunteers, people who really, because the Nigerians actually, we all needed that change. We all still need the change. It's not that we even need it even more now. It's sort of, we all needed the change. So people were volunteering actually to make this change, to be part of this change. So I don't understand this issue of paying agents anyway. And if they agree to pay agents, what happened? Why didn't they pay the agents? Because truly, during the campaign, during the election, we all had this story of so many polling stations, booths, not having Labour Party agents present there. So I don't know. This be the reason why some agents were not there because they were not paid? And anyway, we'll get to know the truth, find out the truth, with the real truth in this whole thing as we go. Let's watch. Keep watching.
Campaign council and to those who were administering these funds to pay polling unit agents that worked for the presidential election. Consequently, it is mischievous for any person to accuse me and the party for mismanaging of these funds. At no time did the party or its officials engage in any financial transaction as it relates to the presidential campaign.
This is surprising to me, shocking, not just surprising, shocking. Where was Abure when the allegation was leveled against him that embezzled presidential campaign funds? I expected this to have come if he's sincere and telling the truth. Why didn't he come up with this press conference and spill the beans? A sort of, so I don't understand. This whole thing doesn't make sense to me. For him to claim that his leadership does not. When I say leadership, him, his colleagues who are fellow executive members, probably the secretary, financial secretary, and co or whatever. So it means that what he's saying here categorically, that they never played any role in the disbursement of the financial campaign, or they never played any part in. They never had. They were not. None of them were signatory. That is the implication. None of them had the authority to either do anything about the funds or whatever. So where is he? How did he? How was he for the people who leveled allegations against him? Leveled some allegations against him. How was he able to embezzle the campaign funds that was to the tune of billions, sort of? So we actually need clarification, and I hope we get this clarification clarifications in coming days. So let's keep watching. Let's listen to him more.
At this stage, it will be safe for me to conclude that I and my colleagues at the level of this NWC was elected in the convention of our party held on the 27th day of March 2024. And we will therefore defend the mandate that has been given to us freely by members of this party.
Now, what mandate is this man talking about? According to at least the basic rule of that convention they had that reappointed him or re-elected him as the chairman of the Labour Party, he did. To the best of my knowledge, he didn't fulfill a kind of one basic rule of that convention, and that basically is not even just a rule; it's a law. It's an electoral law issue. So that any convention, if you are going to be electing executive official of the party, you are one basic rule or one basic law is that INEC must be represented there to supervise the election. By the report, going by the report we received, and it was confirmed, and I think INEC authorities confirmed it, that convention that re-elected his administration, elected Julius Abure as the chairman, INEC was not represented there. INEC was not there to supervise. So that by law, I don't know. We shall be treating the legal aspect of it, as I said earlier, on Saturday with a lawyer to actually clear this whole thing. Because I know, as a layman, to the best of my knowledge, that is one of the basic rules that you must adhere to make it legal. Whatever you do there to make it one of the yardstick to actually make it legitimate. It's also, and that was not fulfilled. So I don't know what he is bragging about here. Please, let's keep watching.
Party. I want to say categorically that no governor, no governor that we gave tickets can harass us out of office. No governor, no matter how highly placed, will come and with a fiat dissolve the National Working Committee, dissolve state councils, dissolve local government councils, dissolve world executive, even military governments don't behave that way.
Again, honestly, what he said actually made sense to me, but we shall be treating the legal aspect of it. I really need answers. We all need answers to this question. Who is on the side of the law? The Obi camp or his camp? But the truth is, that is one. Secondly, does the governor, Oti, does he have the power to dissolve all the chain of leadership in Labour Party, from ward level to national level? Does he have the power to do that? I don't know. And the committee he constituted, the meeting they even had in Abia State, does he have the local standing to actually organize that meeting, hold that meeting? The meeting, Obi was there, Dati Babame was there, the governor was there, and so many other party members were there. Were they on the side of the law? Was the law on their side? And the new executive, the ad hoc executive council, executive members they appointed, or committee they appointed, headed by Nenadi Usman, did they have the authority or the power to do that? These are the questions that we need answers to, and hopefully on Saturday we shall be answering. A lawyer shall be answering those questions and giving us clear path to what exactly, where exactly Labour Party stands now as regard to with regard to both parties. Okay, I think this is almost the end. Let's finish it and see hear the final things he said.
And so I must state categorically, yes, that mandate that was given to us on March 27th, the leadership of this party under my leadership will defend it, and I want to assure you that we will reclaim it and we will be here and produce the next president of Nigeria.
Okay. All right. I think at the end of the video, he talked about how the issue of the Labour Party will not there will not be any automatic ticket to anyone. I think his target. He was referring to Peter Obi, who obviously I think he may be expecting to have an automatic ticket in 2027 election season. Now the truth is, just like I said earlier at the beginning of this show, that this is the cloud has gathered and it's going to be very extremely stormy. The storm is going to be heavy, and that is just the truth. And as it is, nobody can predict where the storm will be headed, whether it will be heading south or west or east. Sort of. So I don't know. The truth is the reality on ground is the Labour Party is really not in good shape. They are not in good health at this moment. We've been having this issue, this squabble for a very long time, but it's never been this clear. The quarrel has never been this glaring and this intense. So it's the Obi camp against Abure camp, and I don't know where. I don't know if you are inclined to this Labour Party political game. Please send us your comment on the comment section. Where is Rabambi? I think they were the ones who started fought against Abure. Are they on the same camp with Abure now? Where exactly do they stand at this moment, or they decided to sheath their sword? What is going on with them? So are we having three camps in the Labour Party now? The Arabambi, the Abure, and the Obi camps. Please, if you are well inclined or well informed in this Labour Party politics, send me a message. Send us a message on the in the comment section, and please, we will appreciate that. All right, now that brings us to this issue of the Labour Party. The truth is, I was an ardent, a very strong supporter of Obi until after the election, when I just thought he didn't act in the right way. That if he had acted in the right way, we couldn't have had this. We couldn't have been left with this monster called Bola Ahmed Tinubu that actually stole the power away from us, and forcing himself, thereby forcing himself on us. The worst still is, it's not just, he has not just forced himself on us, he's forcing his evil and selfish, insensitive policies, shoving it down our throats. I just believe what we are passing through right now as a country. Peter Obi, he's not all his fault, but I believe that if he had done something a little bit more than what he did just mere going to court, I believe that Peter Obi, this evil menace called Bola Tinubu couldn't have been our president at this time. I am very, very sure, because what I expected him during the presidential, after the presidential campaign, presidential election, what I expected him was not to go take a little step further from just mere rejecting the election result, but to go to court, to moving to actually calling out for total rejection, announcing to the world, to the global community, that the election is unacceptable and the result is not acceptable, rather, and it should be reversed. The true result should be made available to the public, should be announced to the public, and that people and that his supporters, at least as such, I expected him to call out his supporters for protest, peaceful protest. Wasn't expecting any violent, whatever. Peaceful protest. Yes, protests will be called. People will respond to those protests. And secondly, yes, people will be government, of course, will send out its uh, uh, attack dogs in the security in the security institutions to come out to come out against the protesters, and Peter will be spearheading it. There's, of course, there is possibility for him to have been arrested, incarcerated. Yes, and so what? People that are much bigger than him were one time in their lives. Some of them are late now. Some of them are still alive. Were one time in their lives political prisoners. What is wrong there? That is part of leadership. I expected Peter Obi to actually spearhead a kind of revolution, not a violent revolution, but a kind of political revolution, because he missed that chance. And that chance was that there was this trend then. What Peter Obi missed the chance, because what happened in 2023 was unprecedented. And like, as they always say, opportunity comes but once. Such kind of opportunity really is very, very rare to come by. Where in Nigeria, we never had it this way, where we have an organic support for a politician. All the support, the support that politicians have garnered in the past, in the previous elections, has always been by inducement, financial inducement. But in the case of Peter Obi was not, he wasn't giving out money. He wasn't doling out money. Sort of. So it was an organic movement. It was an organic love, or not really love, but because everybody was just desperate for a change. Sort of. It was an organic followership of Peter Obi. No financial inducement. Some people were even spending their money to support him. So and he missed that mark. I expected him to take the next step from that tempo, from that level, to actually that kind of influence, to actually call for protest, peaceful protest that would have occupied the entire streets of Nigeria, especially major street cities of Nigeria, that could have attracted global interest. Because the West, while they are fleecing Nigeria, while they are interested in Nigeria not being stable, they do not want Nigeria. It is not in their interest for Nigeria to Nigeria to collapse in totality. It means that their resources, their interests will collapse here, because they are fleecing Nigeria, they are milking Nigeria, they are sapping Nigeria of everything that we've got. So they rather sustain this instability. They want it to remain unstable this way, not growing, but just being not just, rather diminishing in all spheres of nationhood. A sort of that fits their interest. So they couldn't have allowed the country to collapse, because at that level they were not even in total support of they were not even in support of anyone. They were on the fence and even tilting towards Obi, because that was why so many election observers, global international election observers, actually declared the election as a fraudulent election, the result as a fraudulent result, rather. Sort of. So if Obi had stood his ground, then honestly, the global community could have intervened, not intervened physically, but at least use their influence, because always have an influence over our leaders. So use their influence to quell the tension, to protect, not because they love us, but just to protect their assets, their assets in Nigeria. They also protect their interest in Nigeria, because they are fleecing our resources, both solid and liquid resources. So they wouldn't want to lose that. So Peter Obi missed that chance, sort of. So at least he could have tried to do that. If he had tried to do that and failed, then he would have been, someone like me would have exonerated him that he tried his best. But unfortunately, he didn't do that, because Peter Obi loved himself. He's not a revolutionalist. He is just Peter Obi a billionaire who wants to remain a billionaire and live a comfortable life and with his family, who is not ready to make any sacrifice for anyone except probably his immediate family. That is not the kind of leader we desire right now. We need a Mandela leader. We need a leader who will suffer, who will be persecuted, prosecuted for the populace, for the masses, who will be the figurehead of the masses, who will be the leader of the masses. We need a leader who will be ready to go to the gallows, to stick his neck for the masses. We need that leader who is courageous, fearless, and radical. Not Peter Obi, who preaches all the time peace and talks about diplomacy here and there. Peace. I'm not a troublemaker. I love peace. Peace is a very, very good thing. But at the same time, I'm a believer of time and season for everything. There should be a time to make peace, and there should be a time to go to war. And that is it, time and season. And that is just it. Peter Obi is not, what the hell is this? So sorry about that. Anyway, so that is just it anyway. I please send your comment if you have any disagreement with me or support of what I said or in agreement with what I said. Whatever you have in mind, please send your comment. Go send your comment to the comment section, and let's talk about this. Thank you very much, and remain blessed.